Okay, wow. Going to try to do this video, everyone, without going into a rage spiral. I'm not sure if I'm going to succeed, but here goes. So Kim Davis, Kentucky clerk who defied the Supreme Court decision on same-sex marriage this summer and currently sits as one of the darlings of the religious right in our nation. To my non-American viewers, I just have to say that the fact that this woman is being held up as a champion of religious freedom in many parts of the U.S. tells you pretty much everything you need to know about the so-called Bible Belt in our country. Here's the short, blunt truth of the matter, everyone. Kim Davis apologists completely exemplify the American evangelical false persecution complex, in which the inability to bludgeon non-Christians with religious majority privileges is seen as on par with being fed to the lions in the Circus Maxima. Kim Davis is not a hero. Kim Davis was not shouted at and imprisoned for practicing her faith. Kim Davis was shouted at and imprisoned for trying to use her position as an elected official to make other people practice the beliefs of her faith. When she denied gay couples, and heterosexual ones as well, marriage licenses, she said she did it under God's authority. Excuse me? Are we a theocracy? Are we in a nation that's constitution establishes a state religion? Did I miss the suspension of the First Amendment when I was sleeping? Oh, of course, their defenders, they're going to say nobody should be forced to act in a way that violates the core of their religious convictions. Are you serious? Are we really going to go down that road? Okay, hypothetical situation time, everyone. Bear with me, I have a point. Okay, hypothetical situation time. How would you feel if you went grocery shopping on Saturday morning and the person at the cash register happened to keep Sabbath? Maybe they are a Seventh-day Adventist, or maybe they're a conservative Jew or something. They then told you that it was against their beliefs to buy things on Saturdays before sundown. Now, you don't keep Sabbath or practice their religion. You just want to buy your damn potato bread, get home and play Civilization while you eat breakfast. In frustration, you tell them that you want to buy your damn groceries immediately. They then insist that they are being persecuted and made to act against their faith. Another situation. Suppose you're a really nice person who likes to donate blood. You go to a hospital to get your blood drawn, only to find out that the person at the check-in desk is a Jehovah's Witness and refuses to help you. When you ask why, the person says, "The Watchtower says that God does not approve of blood transfusions, and for me to help you would mean that I would be participating in blood transfusions, in opposition to my deeply held beliefs." If you are a non-Adventist or non-witness who is inclined to Miss Davis's so-called plight, quote-unquote, really consider how you would react if you were involved in one of these scenarios. Would you accept the claim that these people were being persecuted? Would you be okay with the fact that you were being made to abide by the rules of a religion that you yourself do not practice? Well, congrats, people. You understand how these couples trying to get marriage licenses feel about Kim Davis. They are upset with her not because she has personal religious beliefs. They are upset with her because she attempted to use her position as an elected official to make them practice her personal religious beliefs. And here's the most telling thing about this claim, this absurd claim that she is being persecuted. Kim Davis could, if she wanted to, resign in protest over the fact that her office is now required to give marriage licenses to same-sex couples. That resolves the situation. She gets to keep the integrity of her sincere religious beliefs, and the various same-sex and opposite-sex couples wanting to get married in her county can go about their business. But nope, that's not what she did. She instead chose to stay in her position and use her authority as an elected official to obstruct access to a freedom that others were seeking to exercise. Then some pundits of the religious right and other conservative media that are sympathetic to her have the bold-faced audacity to compare her to Rosa Parks and desegregationists. Yes, there is a civil rights analogy to be made here, but it's not to Rosa Parks. It's to George Wallace preventing children from going to school because his deeply held religious beliefs, quote-unquote, disagreed with the tyranny of the Brown v. Board of Education ruling. It's to people who attempted to deny and then destroy the marriage of the Lovings, Richard and Mildred Loving, because their deeply held religious beliefs or deeply held cultural beliefs, stood in opposition to race mixing and miscegenation. Remember just a few years ago when that judge in Louisiana refused to issue marriage licenses to that mixed couple and the full weight of the progressive, pro-equality, righteous indignation fell on him? I feel just as much sympathy for Miss Davis. And don't give me that garbage either about if she resigns, she can't find another job. Or, as she said, if she resigns, she loses her voice. And also, why should she resign if she loves her job so much? If you are in the good graces of an omnipotent, omniscient being who's capable of creating entire universes, I'm pretty sure that if you resign, you won't be in trouble. I'm pretty sure you'll be okay. Consider the lilies of the field and all that stuff that informs the Jesus take the wheel mentality of so many American evangelicals and Pentecostals in our country. It's ridiculous, people. You should be able to see through this. This is just bigotry. In addition, I have to wonder how consistent Kim Davis is with her application of Christian sexual ethics and morality. It kind of feels like I'm at risk of using an ad hominem here, and maybe it's a little bit below the belt, but I have to wonder if anyone threw the Sermon of the Mount in her face when she tried to get any of her divorces. When somebody's holding themselves up as this supporter or enforcer of Christian and biblical views of marriage and family and sexuality, you have to wonder if anyone threw the Sermon of the Mount in the face of a person who's been married not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 times. Jesus does not say a damn thing about homosexuality in the Gospels. But he does say that divorce for reasons other than infidelity is a grave sin, and that if a wife remarries after a non-infidelity related divorce, that she is in sin, and her ex-husband is in sin, and her new husband is in sin. It seems like her commitment to biblical principles of marriage are not quite as strong when it comes to those particular words of Jesus. I wonder why that is. That seems very strange. Can any of you explain that to me? And in her recent interviews, Kim Davis has seemed so concerned with those mean people calling her bigots and homophobic. Imagine that. And all of those insulting names because of her actions. To that I have to say, if Miss Davis wants to know what authentic modern-day persecution looks like, she should talk to the openly LGBT young people in junior high and high school who have to navigate the culture of heterosexism and hatred that her behavior is preserving and emboldening.